And Josh is here.
I'm right here. You're not alone.
I'm not alone anymore.
I'm over here hugging the Halloween fabric. Good morning.
Just a happy
Good
little
morning,
boy
everyone.
here.
The happy
I
little
feel like
boy
Tamara when
in
we
his
get.
Halloween fabric.
I feel like Tamara when we get new Halloween fabric in.
Huh?
We live?
Yeah, you're live.
I said I feel like Tamara when we get our
Oh.
new. I just want to pat it. Good morning, everybody. Let me find the
So is she a
post.
fabric, that kind of fabric person too?
No, she just pets all the fabric.
Mhm.
She loves
But
it.
I tend to obviously gravitate
Mhm.
towards my Halloween.
My Halloween, I love that. It's his.
It's mine,
But he's willing to share.
but I'll share it. That's right. Let me
That's
find
right.
this post. There
In
we
fact,
are.
you want to share it.
Absolutely. This is my collection that I love sharing
Uh-huh.
with the world.
And
Good morning, Joyce, Janice, and Mary.
Already.
All right. 7
Three
other
people
folks
already.
on.
Oh, wow. 10.
Anybody on Instagram? Good morning if you are. Mom, hey.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. All right. What are we going to do today?
I don't know. Looks
First,
like
I
we
need
got
to share my.
Of course, they got to share and like and love and thumbs up and heart the posts.
I can
Right?
do a laughy face too.
You can do a laughy face if I say something funny.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
Laughing. Laugh with me, not at me. All right. Good morning, Sheila.
No.
Good morning, Tris. Good morning, Louise. Good morning, Char. All right.
Oh,
Fantastic.
all my friends
Good
are
morning,
out there.
Cindy.
Your friends. That's his family.
All
your
your
friends.
friends. That's right. They come for you, Joann.
I
They
know
do.
they do. I know they do.
That's for the applause, Tris. That's a new one. I like that. No, sharing it. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for the love. Seriously, you share it. We get more and more people every single time we do this, and that's the goal.
Mhm.
It's a ton of fun.
We want you to enjoy this as much as we do. We want as many people enjoying it as possible.
As humanly possible. That's right. Where do we want to start? I got.
Do you have a little sticky?
I do.
Okay.
Doesn't say not a lot on
That's right.
it.
Short-lived there. We'll be back. We'll
Well, yeah. Well, let's
Yeah,
let's do
9:30.
this. Let's start with charity sewing because it's always the most important thing that we do.
Mhm.
So this is no,
Not this Saturday.
not this Saturday. This Saturday is something else. But the 25th. Thank you. The 25th is our next Sewing for Charity party. We've been talking about it. You guys know this, and I see a lot of people signing up. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. We are going to be sewing for Ryan's Case for Smiles. We love Ryan's Case. We love the organization. What were you?
my personal favorite.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the scissor sharpening. Well, it's just something that's so easy to do,
Right.
And it does so much good.
Mhm.
I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. So we're a drop-off center for Ryan's Case year-round, but we love when we actually have the Sewing for Charity parties because we create a big old group of people and knock out I can't remember, I think we did 100 and something last time.
Yeah.
And that's just in one day,
Mhm.
so it's phenomenal. Shoot, if you remember I want to say it was September when they did the national drive, they over 40,000 pillowcases.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just goes to show how many this industry is amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing was when they first started the pillowcase thing, I thought, that's stupid. Why would you do that? And then a friend of mine, a friend of mine made for her grandchild a pillow that said, tomorrow morning I will be 1 year older. And this little girl would get so excited every year when she got to take that pillowcase out. Well, just think if that same idea of making a pillowcase for someone and a child who really needs it really needs that encouragement and excitement in their life that you've helped make.
A little bit goes a long way. Absolutely. Well, you got to think, and a lot of these kids are in hospitals in a scary
Mhm.
situation. So one little thing that can make it
Yes.
a little less
scary, a little more
difficult.
comforting.
Yeah, right. That's huge. So thank you guys. You're amazing. And so that is the 25th from 10 to 3. We're here all day. We're just going to be sewing. And then our scissor sharpener is going to be here. And we have tried to time it to where we're going to have them here for pretty much all of our Sewing for Charity parties so that we can get you guys on a regular schedule because that's every other month that we do the Sewing for Charity. No promises, but we're starting off strong because he's going to be here. They are going to be here.
Mhm.
It's a team. That's right. I shouldn't say him.
Team effort.
He's always like, "You just stay in here with me. Stop shopping." It's great.
Funny.
Yeah. Good morning, Angelina. Brad says, "Put you on the big screen TV." Oh.
Oh, scary thought.
It's very close up.
Good morning, Linda. That's awesome. Okay, so sewing for charity party. Excited. We just ask that you register because it just helps us get an idea of how many people are going to come, what kind of space we need. Don't need any fabric, but we've had people say, "Can I bring fabric?" Absolutely, you can. We're not turning any fabric down, but I think Sherry does have kits. Actually, the idea is to make it easy where you guys just come in, bring your machine, sit down, and rock and roll. And if you don't have a small machine that you can bring, we have some. So just
There'll be pressing. There's all sorts of things you be doing.
yeah, exactly.
So,
It's a party. That's why we call it a sewing for charity party, because we'll find something for you to do. We'll have some
being
giveaways.
with you is a party.
Just being with me is a party. Ew.
So do people bring their sergers for this as well as a regular sewing
You can
machine?
bring whatever.
Well, if you're smart,
Okay.
it's a lot faster. If you got a serger, if you know how to use it. Now, we oftentimes will set one up just so that it just speeds up the process, and then we make that many more pillowcases. But if you like to sew, Cindy, on serger, then bring it on in, because that'll be even better. And Sherry will probably bring hers. Yeah. Homeless kids love pillowcases to carry their items. We actually did for a local organization,
Yeah,
Family
for
Life
the-
Center. We did bags for children and families really that are in a bad situation. Yeah,
That was a great idea.
somebody gets in that situation, you hand them a trash bag to carry their stuff. Like it's almost degrading. Like I just so a pillowcase is even better than a trash bag. But the bags were really cool, and it's something they could keep.
Yeah. That was I thought that was a great idea for foster kids who sometimes just get picked up and moved from one place to another, and they have their own bag.
Yep.
Anyway, go ahead.
So true about the party time at this shop and events. Thanks, Denise. We appreciate that. Do they need to have the flange? No. In fact,
I like them better without.
some people, it's a pillowcase, right? So we're not going to turn any pillowcases down. Good morning. Maria's waiting for you in there.
Okay.
I think for the actual pattern or for the kits, it's just what do they call that? The burrito pillowcase. The idea is simple, fast, and pretty,
Yeah.
or fun. You know what I mean? If you do donate fabric, by the way, for any of these children organizations, think of that. They really don't want reproduction, Civil
That's
War
right.
prints.
You want something fun.
Yeah,
Or
right.
scary Halloween.
Scary Halloween.
No.
That would be fine, by the way,
No.
because the age is not just. Well, my 5-year-old would love. We're going to get to it.
That's different. That's not
but-
scary.
It's not scary, but yeah, I mean, just use your noggin. So, all right, so for charity party, check. I just wanted to mention study hall this Saturday, 9 a.m. We do it every Saturday, 9 a.m. Usually it's Tony and I. We sit down and we talk about nothing but classes and events. This Saturday is a little bit special because we're going to have the entire Cut Up and Sew crew, like the staff here, on with us.
Cool.
So, you guys can meet them, and we got a little something planned for June. So,
Yeah.
right, I think we're going to do that.
Yeah.
So,
You're not here in June.
I know. That's why they got something planned.
Ah.
And
They're going to have fun without me,
we'll have a different quilt talk.
as they should. So, yeah. But anyway, so just a reminder, if we don't talk that much about classes on Quilt Talk, at Quilt Talk during Quilt, thank you. So that's what study hall's for. So if you haven't been tuning in, and it's on YouTube, you can go back and rewatch the old ones. But it's every Saturday at 9 a.m. And if you haven't met all the staff here, then that's a perfect time for us to introduce you. So
They're
it's gonna
going
be
to
fun.
love it.
They're going to love it. Is that what you said?
Yeah, the staff's going to love
No,
it.
the staff's going to, yeah, Tamara's like, I have to be on camera because normally she's like hiding. I'm like, yep.
That's right.
Good morning, Leah. Good morning, Sandy. All right. And then new fabric. All right. Actually, I'm holding this. Let's do this. I'm like waving this thing around. So we finally got some of these in stock. We talked about them once before. They're fantastic. Tree trends. We love them. We got only 12 of them in, and I think there's only 5 left. So I will be able to reorder them. I just don't know time frames. It's a whacker.
The
Clapper.
Clapper. It's not a whacker.
You could.
It's a
It's
clapper.
heavy enough to do that. I
Right.
love these. I think these are wonderful.
Yeah. And shame on me. She told me what type of wood this is, and it's the type of wood that actually absorbs the heat the best.
Oh.
Anybody know what that should be? It's that one. It's the right one. But
It's a really good wood for this.
and hello, it's cool because it says cut up and sew on it. Swag, cut up and sew swag, which is great. Yeah, it's nice. So I love these. I just was letting you guys know we did get them in stock and they sold out, almost sold out really fast. So if you really want one of these, call us because there's only 5. And if we sell out, I can always get you some. It just may take a while.
They are on the website too, I think.
They are on the website. Okay, fantastic. Cutupandsew.com. We also got some fun new pre-cuts. Tony, I'm going to let you hold that a little bit closer. Yeah. This is a cool line from Blank that I didn't want to carry the entire yardage. It's very busy, very fun, and I absolutely love it. But I thought, let's bring some in and just see what people think. It's a great collection. I love the colors.
Yeah.
But it's pretty busy. So,
So all the
it's called
fabrics
Square
in it-
One.
Right, and all the fabric. Hold it this way. All the fabrics in it, they're all different colors, but they're all the same design.
Right.
On there.
It's actually one of their what they call a blender line.
Really?
Yeah, so you can get this year round. But it's you said your face even said it. It's pretty busy for a blender line. She goes, oh, really?
Sorry.
Tell us how you feel.
Tell us how you really feel.
I
But
love it.
but I've seen some stuff made with it, and it's fantastic. It's just I get it. So, but I was curious what people were going to think, so I wanted to just bring it in, let you guys let us know. Tell me what you think. I love seeing you two, and I love my new clapper that I got Saturday at the Die Hard Club.
All right. So an endorsement already. Thank you very
Char.
much.
All right, and then I saw something else. Good morning, Linda. For women with cancer, we'll use 20 and 30 fabric for pillowcase. 20 and 30 fabric.
Reproductions.
Oh, 20s and 30s.
I see, yes.
Reproduction fabric. No, I get that. Totally. That's very different than
But we're not.
Civil War. But we're doing it for the kids, so really we're looking for
Mhm.
for the brighter fun. But good point, Angelina. Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Jim. Maybe it's Jim. Okay, so now we can talk about new fabric.
Okay.
So I know it's a little early for Halloween, says who?
Yeah.
It's never too early for Halloween, first of all. But yeah, so okay, well, we'll start with this.
Because it shows all the fabric.
Your boy made a quilt top. I very quickly, I literally never made a quilt top, like just
You wait a minute.
an
Wait.
actual piece.
You actually made the
Yeah,
quilt.
yeah,
You
yeah.
sat down at the sewing machine
I-
and sewed all the
I-
cut it. Cut it.
So
Did you cut it?
I did.
Oh
So
my goodness.
let me back up. The actual sewing of it was fun. Like I found, because I've always said I hate sewing straight lines. It's somewhat true, but I actually enjoyed that because there was a pride to it, and I'm obsessed with the fabric, which
Mhm.
makes a big
Oh, it
difference.
makes it fun.
But these squares, lots of squares, lots of lines. That's my nightmare. I learned really quick because of it was the prep work,
Mhm.
the cutting and trying to square. And
Wrap it up.
I was like, yeah, this is not fun for me. If it was a different, literally any different line, I would have said, nope, Tamara, can you do this, please? And I would have tapped out. But I was obsessed with this line. So I was like, you know what? I got to finish it. And I am going to quilt it. So it's a pattern. And we'll just show you.
Look at all this haunted houses and everything.
Yeah. And that is a different panel on the back. And I'll let Tony flip it. So we got that panel in. And every single one of these squares is a different image. There's no reprint.
This one
Really?
open up.
And this one, I was just going to let him show it. Yeah, you can show that. Is Haunted House. We haven't made anything with this yet, but it is too cool.
This one's really
And this was the border. Well, I don't know if it's a border print, but I guess it is.
Yeah, it is.
I just chopped out this row and put them in there. But how cool is
Yeah,
that?
look at the skeletons.
I love that line. Let me mute this phone. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, JC. JC.
I thought there was a cat on there.
Janice, thank
There we
you.
go.
I knew you would love that quilt.
That's cool.
But in all honesty, I know, I understand quilting. I know myself, and so I was like, there's a reason I don't do a lot of piecing. But I will say, I really enjoyed once I kind of said, you know what? If it's not perfectly straight, who cares? Then I actually enjoyed the process. So,
it'll sort of work out.
and that's what she said. It'll come out in the quilting. But I tell you,
Sort of.
there was a group of ladies around me like, yeah, wet it here, pull it here, stretch it here. I'm going, okay. I'm just going to go sit over here and sew it. It's going to be as straight as it's going to be at the end of it. So, but it was great. So we got that bolt in, and the haunted houses, which are really cool. And then we got Rachel Howard's new line. And what prompted this is obviously in June, you know that we do our Spooktacular June Jamboree. Well, if you don't know, we do that.
It's our second one.
Yeah, it's our second one. That's right. And the whole idea was that there's always Christmas in July. Everybody on the planet does Christmas in July. Well, Tony and I are like, well, how come there's no Halloween in June?
Trendsetters.
They're absolutely because Halloween comes before Christmas.
That's right.
So that started, and we had a lot of fun with it. We're just going to keep doing that. So Rachel Howard's new line came in, and it is amazing. I love her artwork. I love her drawings. Now, I will say it's pretty dark.
I love bats.
Well, and I'm wondering how the camera's going to pick this up. It's a fairly dark, like the colors, these teals or whatever. It's a really dark, rich. So I'm curious.
That's really good.
Does it? Cool. I'm curious to see what people are going to create with this. Yeah. Look at that. Is that not fun?
I like this one.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Owls.
It's so fun. I mean, her drawings, like, see, that's, again, same thing. The reason we love Tula, the reason we love Rachel Howard, they're artists. They start with a sketch and then they build, and then it's, their color play is fantastic. Is that not fun?
Oh, is that the bats? Oh, look at the moth. See how the pumpkin faces are.
Like that. Then you got the all over pumpkin print. And again, her color selections are not normal. I remember trying to, her last Halloween collection, trying to match the really rich dark teal that she had in there was tough because it's very unique to her.
Yeah, it'd be nice if she had a few
Like
blenders.
that teal, yeah.
This teal is gorgeous, and so is, I mean, her yellows and
Yeah,
everything's really nice about it.
it is nice. And I think what we found that matched it the best was a batik and then a couple of the halcyon.
Oh yeah, in the beginning.
The in the beginning blenders that we have that are really kind of rich.
Like
Look at the look at that bat face. All right, these are my favorite too. We'll save those for last. Oh, see, that's just cool. Very unique, very cut up and sewed.
I wonder how crows got to be associated with Halloween.
Nevermore, nevermore.
Oh, that's right.
They're
Never,
black and loud and spooky.
no, they are loud and spooky.
I love this one with the cat.
That's my second favorite. I mean, what a cool print.
Is that your cat on there?
Oh, no,
Don't think
Shan
you
would let me get a black cat.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, she says it freaks her out.
Yeah.
Our cat is white and black.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, now this one obviously is my favorite. Come on, the all over skull print with on that purple, really dark purple.
And the camera doesn't pick up the
It
purple.
doesn't do the justice. Yeah, it's
It looks
fantastic.
washed out.
Good morning, Joann. Good morning, Becca. Oh, frozen, not getting you. Are we back unfrozen? Linda, are we good? Good morning, Marilyn.
That's such a beautiful.
I'm looking at it. It looks like
Yeah, I love that
we're
purple.
okay.
Okay.
I don't know how long we froze, so if you missed any of the collection that we were showing, sorry. Come on in. That's right. Looks like we're okay though. Somebody give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys can
There you
see us
go.
that we're not frozen. Good morning, Linda. I mean, you think if I'm looking at it on Facebook that we shouldn't be frozen, right? I'll get some hearts.
To me, but
Okay, thanks, Sheila. She said we're good.
You know a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for my notes.
you're done.
Halloween.
Oh my goodness.
So there is a ton of Halloween stuff coming in, and just stay tuned for the June. That's all I was
Mhm.
segueing into. We've got something planned. I don't know exactly what Tony and them have planned for when I'm gone, but I know that like the very last Saturday
Mhm.
of June is going to be our spooky shindig.
Mhm.
Spooky, spooktacular June Jamboree.
Now, will you be able
We're changing the name now.
Yeah.
Will you be able to watch that on Facebook or will it be?
Oh, I'm going to be here.
Oh, you'll be here.
I'll be back.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
So
I feel like a
I'm
welcome back
flying
party.
back. Yeah, it's a welcome back. That's
Uh-huh.
right. How fitting. If you're all dressed up in costume,
Oh,
I'll
wow.
be like, my people, I'm home.
They missed me.
I won't be here, or I'd go buy a costume
Yeah,
just for that
you
occasion.
can make one. And I get it. It's June, but we're going to crank the AC.
Mm-hmm.
Even if some people don't fully
Even wear a
embrace
shirt
getting
with it.
dressed up, wear a fun shirt.
Yeah.
Wear a witch's hat that you're going to
You
take.
can wear their
Because
Moultrie shirt.
You're going to take Karen's class and make your own witch's hat. Wear that.
That's a good
You know what I
idea.
mean? So yeah, just come festive. That's the idea.
Yeah. Get into it.
Party.
Get into it.
Have a party.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Before I say the floor is yours, so excited to use my gift card for Mother's Day. Kids super surprised me. Glad it was. Oh, this is awesome. That's awesome, Becca. Yes, I hope all you moms had a wonderful Mother's Day, by the way.
It was a nice day for Mother's Day, too.
Yeah, it was.
Just a nice day.
Locally here.
I told Casper he woke up and was starting to get a little cry. I was like, He goes, it's not Mother's Day today. And I'm like, dude, every day is Mother's Day, boy. You better learn.
That's right. Never. Happy mom, happy life.
Yeah. Happy life, happy life. So anyway, I'm sorry. Now the floor is yours.
Okay. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot. One of the people that I've heard speak who I think is absolutely so inspiring is Jenny Joan from Missouri Star Quilt. And when you hear her speak, not only does she talk about, quilts and, how to make a half square triangle and all the quilts you can make with a half square triangle. She does that. But she talks about being a quilter and the pride and the just what it means to be a quilter and how that works in your community and your life and your family, whatever.
She's passionate.
She's very passionate about it, and she's a great speaker in that result. And so I thought that maybe today we could kind of talk about some of those things. I'm not a great speaker like Jenny Joan, but I do have those same passionate feelings about, what it means to be a quilter and what a quilt means to different people. So I have given Josh and Tony the questions. The first one is, why is quilting important? And what makes it important? What makes it something that brings people together and whatever? So what do you think? He has notes.
Got notes, y'all. Well, what's amazing about everything that you sent is it's literally, and we were talking about the podcast earlier, it's the whole point of this is getting people, younger people that aren't quilters, sewers, excited about quilting.
Mhm.
So what a perfect time. So literally I had this conversation 2 days ago, 4 days ago. I'm going to have it today. So, this is the topic. It's great. So this one's pretty easy for me. It's a creative outlet.
Mhm.
I mean, it's art, right? So it allows people to express themselves.
Mhm.
And when you're doing something that is, I think this is answering your third question, but when you're doing something that allows you to enjoy, have fun, it's healthy.
Mhm.
So it's actually good for your health,
Mhm.
mentally, physically, whatever. Now, physically, I get it. If you're not sitting in the right chair and at the right thing, it can be a little,
Yes,
So, but the idea of it is that, yes, happy equals healthy and expressing yourself and
and it's so much better spending money on fabric than it is spending it on psychiatrists.
Amen. And I was a bartender for a long time, so if you ever want to come in and I'll just listen. That's exactly right.
Come down to the local bar.
Yeah, it's fun. So the process is fun, and you're passionate about it. So that is one of immediately. That's where I go to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's all about creativity and allowing yourself to break from the normal routine of life.
Mhm. That's a good point. Breaking from the normal routine, and I think that in the post-COVID world that we live in, I think COVID tended to isolate us so much, and quilting helps to bring you back into reality, into a community. We're not meant as human beings. We're not meant to live in isolation. We're meant to live in community, and especially sometimes in our age group, there tend to be more women who are on their own, but to be able to come someplace, to be able to, even if you just have a little sewing group at home, or you come to the shop and you join one of the sewing groups here. Whatever it is, it reforms that community. It gives you a place to come and not just be creative, but to share your life with other people.
Yep.
And I think that that's
I hear people say it all the time. This is my happy place. And I know they say it kind of joking, but it's also not.
Mhm.
That-
Right,
I know that they're not. I take that serious. And it's like, so that's a huge compliment
Mhm.
because that is the environment we're trying to create.
Exactly.
And yeah, the community aspect's a huge part of it. Also, there's some reward into it because a lot of these people make these amazing quilts. And I always go, so what do you do with it? You sell it? And it's almost always, it's a gift or a donation,
Mhm.
either to a charity or a gift.
Right.
Well, that's rewarding.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
It
So it
is.
makes you,
You're giving back.
you're giving back, makes you
Mhm.
feel good, right?
Mhm.
So yeah.
And I've always said it when people ask if how much I would charge them to make a quilt for them. I always tell them it's better to be my friend and let me just make you a quilt.
I charge more for non-friends.
That's right. Because it's just too expensive.
Louis said spending money on fabric is the best therapy.
Absolutely.
Most of my sewing is gifted, makes me feel so good and happy to help others. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Absolutely, mine too. And you know, I looked a little bit at the history of quilts in the United States, and it's sort of interesting because not only is it a creative outlet, but it's been a part of our history. You know, if you look at the should have looked this up. You know, the quilts that were made during the Civil War that would direct the people who were escaping from slavery. It would direct them to places that were safe for them. And they used quilts to show the way.
It's a map, basically.
Exactly.
I know. I've heard some about this. I would love to actually read, or I prefer to watch a documentary. But yeah, it's fascinating.
Mhm.
And something, not to derail that, but I was interviewing Angie. She brought up the fact that, well, for a lot of people, this is tradition.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, interesting. Like my family, my mom's mom did it, my mom's mom.
Mhm.
So they're keeping that sort of tradition alive,
Right.
which is really cool. So that's, again, that keeping the history alive
Yes.
and hopefully changing it for the, for the better,
And what? Well,
or making it their own, I should say.
you know, yeah, and exactly as you look at the quilt that the grandmother made, and then look at the quilt that the mother made, and then maybe look at the quilt that the daughter's making,
Mhm.
to see the progression of what's happened in quilting. You know, whether it's the fabrics or the style or whatever. It's interesting to see that because quilts also trace our history. If you know, especially with those quilts that have labels on them. So
Yeah.
maybe the quilt was made in Massachusetts, but it was actually found in a thrift store in California. So there was a transition there that went through that can be traced because there's a label on it.
Label your quilts.
That's
That's
right.
right. Label your quilts.
Label your quilt.
You're literally making history.
That's right. That's right. And it's a part of who we are, and it's a part of what women do. Women create an environment in their home or wherever they are that is welcoming and comforting, and that's what quilts portray. That they show that in what they are.
Women and men. Correction.
That's right. Women and men, but traditionally
And kids.
And kids.
Mhm.
No, I understand. But I'm seeing more and more men quilters, which is great.
Yeah.
Boys,
Mhm.
yeah, I love it.
Mhm. It is kind of fun to see that happening.
Yeah.
Um,
Brad, I got your back. See how I jumped right on.
it's good you have a
Local.
representative here.
Yeah. I don't know if I should be a rep for all of mankind.
The other thing is, whenever I'm teaching a class and somebody's struggling through with a particular technique or whatever, and I just look at them and I say, when you're 95 and you can still think, you can thank me.
keeping them sharp.
That's right. Creating new brain waves.
It's true, though.
That's so true.
It's education.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I learned the
Growing.
math when I did this quilt.
I try to avoid it at all costs,
I
but
really
sometimes
do.
you just have to do it.
I really do. But no, it does. It keeps you sharp. In fact, any classes, learning anything, challenge yourself.
Mhm.
Constantly challenge yourself. We talked about the other day, like we want to have some more advanced quilt classes here because a lot of you are comfortable where you're at, which is great. You enjoy it, but I think you're selling yourself short.
Mhm.
Like I think you can do more.
Mhm.
And so we need to have some challenges for you.
That's right.
And we're working on that.
We can do
Mhm.
a challenge. That would be fun.
Yeah.
So one of my questions was, what can we do to inspire the next generation? You know, if you look around, if you go into a quilt store at any given time or whatever, you're going to see people kind of in my age group and a little older, a little younger. That's kind of the common denominator. But, you know, we really, you know, in order for that history to continue, we need younger people. And you know, the shop does classes for little kids, and that's great. But I'm wondering about those people who are in the teenagers, high school age, college age. You know, how can we attract them and bring them into the
You want me to go?
fold?
JC, I see everything I've ever made was a gift for someone else. All my memory bears I've ever done were sewn to gift. I don't want to get into the rest of it. For loved ones grieving, my time spent to create is more therapy to me and rewarding in my personal journey.
Awesome.
Well
Really cool.
said.
Yes.
I love that. I had to read it.
Who wrote that?
JC. You probably haven't met her actually. She comes to the costuming club,
Okay.
and she, speaking of younger generation, whoop, whoop.
There she is.
Yeah. So I just love that though. Not a lot of people mention memory bears and stuff, but that's huge.
Mhm.
I mean, that's like part of the whole charity thing, the whole, you know, giving that we do. We did some memory bears once, but
Mhm.
it's a lot of work. So, I mean, a lot of work goes into all these things.
Right.
So it's not like you're just whipping out something and going, here you go. You know, you're spending time.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Okay. Back to what I think is the most important question that you had, that you sent us. How to get the new generation
Mhm.
inspired.
Mhm.
How do we, I say it all the time, create a new generation of sewer. So I'm going to read my notes because I've literally interviewed people and these are the responses that they gave me and they're all right.
Mhm.
So instant gratification for young ones.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
attention
old
spans.
Old ones.
Old ones too, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But true. But what I took away from that was like, ooh, 1 day projects, pillowcases, drawstring bags. You know, kids aren't going to go, yeah, I think I'll sit here for 4 days and make a quilt
Right.
out of the gate.
Mhm.
No. Exciting technology. These kids are super
Ah.
comfortable with computers and
Yes.
things, and these
Mhm.
machines are getting cooler and
Mhm.
techier. You know what I mean? And so let's show them those things.
Uh-huh.
Now, the negative part of that is that they're really expensive. So that's what let's show them some pre-loved.
Mhm.
Let's show mom and dad some pre-loved.
Mhm.
Mom, dad, you don't have to spend 20 grand to get your kid a cool machine to play with, you know. So, but the tech, that's going to excite a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I would say the younger generation, to be fair, but I know plenty of people who've been doing this for a long time that embrace it and that are awesome with it and can't wait for more.
Mhm.
So I'm not being ageist. Ageist, is that right?
That's a word.
I think it's a word.
That's cool.
I think it is. Not
It is now.
TM. 1 day projects, I already said. And then getting them inside shops like Cut Up and Sew. And I'm going to be a little bit biased here because that fabric that we just showed you guys, this fabric,
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very
it's cool fabric. I
Uh-huh.
mean, the fabric designers and the colors and the things that we have in the shop are not your normal.
Mhm.
When you mention quilt shop to somebody who's never been into a current quilt shop or a more modern, I'll say,
Yeah.
quilt shop, they don't know.
Yeah. there's
Like that
lots of-
skull that's probably in the camera in the back,
Mhm.
you know, that's not what, if I didn't own this shop or I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
in the industry, I wouldn't have known
Mhm.
that existed. So get them in so that we can talk to them and hopefully get them excited.
Yeah.
Right.
I see it all the time. They come in there like, whoa, huh,
This
You
is
know?
cool. That's right.
who knew? I was like,
Uh-huh.
well, we did, but we didn't tell you. So trying to get them in the shops so that
So
then
what
we
do they
can
suggest
mold
to do
their
that?
lip lines.
Mhm. How do you do that?
Well, I think that goes back to the classes, right? Having classes that are appealing to, again, quilting is probably a tough start for a lot of young kids. Now,
Mhm.
when we have we've done one-on-ones with 6, 7, 8-year-olds, we
Mhm.
let them choose, and only one has said, I want to do a quilt.
Uh-huh.
Most of them say, I want to do a skirt, I want to do a dress,
Right.
I want to do a
And that's what they're thinking.
bag, pillowcase.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Something they can go home and then use.
Mhm.
And something that they go, that doesn't look as hard. They
Mhm.
see a quilt and they're going,
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
That's a lot. So usually you learn to use the sewing machine and then you find your
Mhm.
avenue, whether it's quilting or garment sewing
Mhm.
or what have you. And I wrote this one thing. it says there are tons of people that are leading the charge to create new sewers, and that's good news. Like, so we are not the only ones having this discussion. As I've been starting the podcast, interviewing Tony and even people I didn't know that well, Teresa, Stoller, Angie, all these people have the same excitement and motivation. So that's super like awesome. It's inspiring. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Promising? No, it's it's hopeful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, cool, this industry is not going anywhere.
No.
Because everybody wants it to keep going.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's my spiel.
Okay,
That was a good spiel.
that was
I
good.
can keep going. You can tell me.
Yeah, you're very passionate about it.
So,
I didn't realize what I was bringing out.
all right, back to the chat. Am I missing anybody?
No, Brad's up with you. Tech is the big reason.
Tech.
It's well, it's interesting because I have a long arm machine which I've had for about 2 years, and I used to have it it was in my dining room. So when you came into the house, you saw it. The women kind of looked at it and thought, oh, okay, moved on. The men and the young men, my sons, were engrossed with it. They always came down and watched and said, well, what does the computer do here? What happens here? And the men were much more interested in the whole technology portion of it and how it works.
We like the techie stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And machinery.
The machinery, I have to say, it's not necessarily the
Yeah,
tech.
it's
It's
true.
the machinery.
Long arm. Well, it's impressive. You're like, what does this giant thing
Huge
do?
thing. Yes, that's right.
And sometimes I've had people come in and they're like, whoa, what does this thing do? And I'm like, well, it does the quilting to the thing. And like, that's it?
That's it.
Like, that's all it is. Like, well, yeah, but
Yeah, we make it a lot more complex than that. Just-
well, this one has a computer.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, well, that's cool.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody because that's why I love it. Keeps my 75-year-old brain. Well, hold on. That is why I love it. It keeps me thinking and using my 75-year-old brain.
That's right.
Thanks, Shar. 99% of the items are for gifts. Fantastic. Morning, Abuela. Trish, put home economics back in high school.
Agree.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
I think that makes a huge difference.
You know, I took home ec in 95 and I graduated in 96 and it wasn't available.
Wow.
So, and that could have been just my school. But I mean, Cassie just called me and said, hey, I can't use the sewing machines and that's for a local high school here. They're not letting us do it anymore. It's like, man, so they're taking it out of schools. So Tris, absolutely.
But
A lot of clubs, by the way, not to cut you off, are available, but you just have to know how to find them.
Or volunteer to start one in your local high school.
Volunteer to start one. I love that.
Exactly. I was thinking, because I know that the home ec program is no longer available, which is really sad. But there must be a way of interfacing with the high school and saying, how can we work with you to establish one of those, maybe at our shop, but we just need to get the kids in.
Yep.
So we need help doing that. So if you know kids who might be interested, who or advertise it somehow at the school, things like that, or there are events at the school where that sort of thing would be good to advertise, so that you can draw those kids in, so that they're aware of what's happening, what's available.
And if you don't want to do that, but you've got an in the school, give me the connection. We'll go and do it. I will volunteer for that any day of the week. I tried to do it. Well, I'm going to do it at my son's school, but the age, so we're going to make it an art club. And so I'll introduce sewing. It's not just a sewing club, but again, hey, whatever. Get your foot in the door. And yeah, so I love that. Good morning, Amanda. Wear your creations out. Make cool clothes that are one of a kind. Sew things for your niece, nephews, friends to wear so that then their friends can see it. I love that, JC. Great. Yeah, because now, and it's coming full circle, the kids that's what they're doing. They're chopping stuff up and making it their own because, again, they have something original that they made. It's cool. We used to make clothes for a different reason.
Yeah, it was interesting. As I was perusing through Facebook one day with nothing better to do with my time, there are a lot of people who are taking clothing that they've bought at Goodwill or at a vintage store, or it's all pre-owned clothing, and they've taken it, something that just looked rather simple and uninteresting, and made some really interesting clothing out of it. That was.
I know. I wish I had the patience to make clothes.
I don't.
Because I see stuff, I'm like, oh, that's great. Imagine if that was on a shirt or on the side of some pants. But I know what it takes to make clothes.
Yeah.
It's not
it's challenging. Yeah. So, just incorporating that sort of thing, because quilting may not be, quilting is, I know that when I was young, I made clothes. I made all of my clothes, and I made my kids' clothes, and then I made grandkids' clothes. And then I ran out of people to make clothes for. And the desire.
Yeah, some really cool fabric over there.
I'd love some pants.
Yeah. No. So, but that's when I started quilting, because, I didn't want to make clothes anymore. So, it's all a continuum. It's all kind of where you are in life and what you're interested in.
It's true. Partner with the entrepreneurs at FPC. Amanda, you're absolutely right. So, again, any connections are more than, and we'll talk, Amanda, very soon, actually. But yeah, something kind of dawned on me when I said, garment sewing is hard.
I would not to
but
say something.
It's not. I mean,
it's not hard.
So, and
quilting's hard too. It's all
it's all hard. It feels hard, and it actually wasn't hard. I didn't, I was trying to be funny, but truthfully, there is a process if you want to do it the right way. But you know what? I was in a class and I was learning, and she was teaching it the right way. And then I go home and I watch a YouTube video, and these kids are just whipping stuff out. You know
That's
what?
where we
you
want
just
to
shot
be.
yourself then. And
Totally. Because I was like, why did I? But I was being taught the right way, which is great.
Yeah, there's a saying that goes, you should know all the rules so that you can break them.
So you break that. Well, and there's YouTube videos for everything. So I think maybe more YouTube videos that are actually teaching the correct things that will help them grow are also helpful. But I don't want to deter anybody from making garments.
Yeah, there's always simple, easy things to make before you make the challenging things.
You know what I think it was is I don't like pinning.
Ah.
And there's a lot of pinning involved in what we were doing, and I understood why, but that was my whole thing. Again, I am an instant gratification. I'm like, I don't want to iron. I want to just sew it. Let's go. So I think that's what it was. So saying that it was difficult is not right at all, but there is a process if you want to do certain things. The collar needs to be, if it's it was a knit too. So I'd also never worked with knits. And
so that was a challenge. There were challenging things.
But again, I was overthinking everything. And then I watch a video and the kid's like, burp, 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 takes his old pair of shorts, lays it down, and then he traces it, and then he just cuts it out. And I'm like, well, okay.
Why can't I do that?
I could, but I just didn't, so yeah.
And kids are like that, though. Kids are, that's one of the great things about
Thank you, Louise.
kids is that they have no fear.
Yeah,
They'll
and
sit
that's
down
it
at a
too.
computer that they've never seen before, and they'll just push all these buttons, which can make you crazy because eventually they're going to crash the computer. But
they can fix it.
but they're not afraid to try.
That's
They're
true.
not afraid to do stuff, and to be able to be in a position where you can let them be that way.
Yeah.
And still create something that will be useful.
Absolutely. And don't say stupid things like I did to deter them from doing something.
That's right.
I said it and I heard myself saying it. I was like, now I gotta.
Yeah.
Backtrack.
Well, hey, look, I'll own it if I say something stupid.
Yeah. Don't you hate that feeling of knowing that you've just said something that you really shouldn't?
I was like, I don't even say. I don't believe it.
Yeah, you don't believe that.
It was a poor attempt to, anything. Louise says garment sewing is awesome, not hard at all. That's why I said thank you, Louise. You're right. You ready to start teaching?
Yeah, we're working on her.
I know. I'm just gonna keep throwing it out there. Guess it's my end. You're frozen again. Oh no.
No. Well,
Linda, maybe. I don't know. I don't
we're
see
not.
us frozen, but we're done anyway.
Yeah, we're done. We've talked enough.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
We have to open the shop and have some fun.
Mhm.
I see people waiting outside. Sorry, Bonnie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's a little early. That's all right. Thank you. Fantastic. Obviously, I get super excited talking about anything,
About the future.
the future of this industry, and that's not just talking about kids. I hope people don't think that I'm keep harping on a younger generation. It's not. I mean, that's super important. Let's be honest. I mean, if we want this to be here in 40, 50, 60 years, then we got to start with young teachers too.
Exactly.
But the people that are in it right now, that's why we're here. So
And we want to you know, in order to
Morning,
keep
Tammy.
that generation working, you still have to have a younger generation to,
And they need mentors and people to look up
That's
to.
a bigger thing.
Exactly.
Mentors. Yeah.
So
and that would be really fun to do mentors, some sort of mentoring program with kids. That would be neat.
that would be neat. You want to mentor them?
For you,
You want to be my mentor?
I think you have a lot of
Is that the right
mentors
way?
already.
I do. I'm surrounded by them. All right. Thank you guys. That was awesome. Thank you for bringing all that.
Oh, you're
That was
welcome, and thanks for
fantastic.
participating.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
fun.
So see you, well, hopefully before Saturday,
Mhm.
but we'll be back for quilt or study hall on Saturday at 9 a.m. where you can meet all the staff, which is great. Mary's classes are this week, but I'm just throwing it out. I think we have 1 or 2 spots left, hopefully.
Mhm.
Well, hopefully not, but
Check it out.
because I said that, hopefully. Yeah, cutupandsew.com if you want to sign up for that. Other than that, live to create.
Enjoy the journey. The journey is really fun.
It is really